You got to leverage the power of technology, and it's moving faster than ever. But in order to be successful, you must have a system. Profits are better than wages, meaning leveraged income is more powerful than linear income. There's linear income, which is exchanging a dollar for time or time for money. So 99% of the people out there are groomed, called the matrix, and they're groomed and they're brainwashed to think that you need a job. They're taught businesses are too hard. I need a job. I need to work 9 to 5, 9 to 6. I must get a paycheck. I must get benefits is the only way for my security of life. And really what you're going to get is a kick in the ass. Leverage the power of technology to create systems. If you don't know who I am and you haven't done your research on Anthony Powell, one of the main things that I do in my life is I build the best online contact management systems. I was the first guy online to develop learning management systems. The universities where everyone's using now and the schools everyone's using now. I've been doing that since 1998. I built the first online school. That's how I was able to bring in over 1 million people as students, is I built a university where I brought everyone through the same exact process. I educated everybody on a process like a university where everyone watched the same video, went through the same process, and had the same outcome as far as education goes. Certified the people and allowed them to move on towards the next tier of training. So I've been doing this for a long time. I don't know if you caught the number, but I put 1 million people through my online system. 1 million. So when you put 1 million people through, you learn the behavior of online etiquette, right? When people drop out, when people go all the way through. And I built things to learn along this process of how to keep people engaged. I learned what not to do. Like, for example, today you do not want people able to talk to each other in classrooms because then they disappear and they end up in different people's businesses. There's thieves out there. So the bottom line is I know every single piece of what's called an online CRM system, online university, online funnels. I'm like one of the pioneer OGs of this entire industry. And for years, I just focused on building my own stuff and not educating people that are not in my business. And I got so much slack from everybody saying, hey, you've built over 200 millionaires, thousands of six-figure earners. You've built this incredible digital CRM, LMS, university, funnel builder, system. Why don't you go teach people that are not in your business how to do this so you can solve the pain of online marketing? And that's what we're doing now. We've got the podcast. We're going to dig into all the different things that I do. We're going to interview millionaires that are in different industries. We're going to dig into their come-ups. We're going to dig into their successes. We're going to dig into the technology they use and don't use and why. So guys, you got to leverage the power of technology, and it's moving faster than ever. But in order to be successful, you must have a system. McDonald's is a system. You must have a system. Okay, the next thing is learned. I learned that profits are better than wages, meaning leveraged income is more powerful than linear income. So write this down. There's 2 different types of incomes. There's linear income, which is exchanging a dollar for time or time for money. So 99% of the people out there are groomed. It's called the matrix. This is what the matrix is. And they're groomed and they're brainwashed to think that you need a job. They're taught businesses are too hard. I need a job. I need to work 9 to 5, 9 to 6, 8 to 6. I must get a paycheck. I must get benefits is the only way for my security of life. And really what you're going to get is a kick in the ass. And decades will go by. But you're brainwashed. See, this is why kindergarten through 12th grade is that brainwashing time. It's the same. This is the art of duplication. Everyone's learning the same thing. It's duplication, brainwashing. Then you get into universities and it's super brainwashing. We're going to teach you how to be in the matrix and how to get a high paying job, which doesn't exist. Then when you get the job, you get in there and you go, wait a minute, I just spent 16 to 18 years of my life, 20 years of my life, more than that, 25 years of my life educating myself, which is 25% of your entire life, and you're basically barely making above the people that aren't educated. Then you've got the good old liberal tax. They're going to tax 40% of your income. So now so think about this. If you have $100,000 a year W-2 job, they're going to say, hey, give us $40,000 in taxes, and here's your 60 grand, you little employee, little slave. That's horrible. One thing Jim Rohn told me, he said, listen, when you accept your paycheck from your employer and you're saying, oh, thank you, or now you look in it's being deposited, right? Digitally deposited. You're saying, thank you, this is all I'm worth. This is all I'm worth. And you're going, no, it's not. Well, then do something about it. You can't sit there and work 5 days to 6 days a week for 4 weeks a month, year after year, and then finance a vacation for your family and think that's getting ahead. It's going backwards, guys. But you got to get yourself reconvinced. You got to understand you're not financially literate. You're working for linear income, exchanging your time for money. You've been brainwashed to think this. What you need to learn is what's called leveraged income. Write it down. Leveraged income. They don't teach this in school. They teach you the big bad boys of Wall Street are bad guys. The insurance men and women are bad people because they take all your money. Well, no, they're not. They learned how to leverage. What's leverage? They use other people's money to leverage profits. Whether you work or not, write it down. Leveraged income is whether you work or not, you still get paid. You wake up, you get paid. But you got to build that. So you got to get, it's a linear income in the beginning and it turns into leveraged income. You got to have that type of business or that type of career that creates that, and then you can sell it. Okay. Next is your network is your net worth. That is cliche, right? You hear that, oh, your network is your net worth. It is true. Now, I'm not the kind of person, I'm not a clout person. I don't care if you've been in a movie. I don't care if you kicked a goal in a soccer. I'm a basketball fan. I don't care if you're the star of the basketball team. You're just a human being to me. So I'm not going to get you any of my energy or love just because you're a quote unquote athlete or star. I don't do those things. If you want my respect, you have to be something other than just someone with a bunch of money. Okay. But I do understand that your network is your net worth. So you got to go around people that have done what you've done. You've got to create a center of influence, and you got to create the right center of influence, the kind that is going to help you get where you need to go. Not the kind that has agendas that's going to eat off of you, suck all your energy, not contribute information for your growth, not support you, not get behind you and cheer you on your victories or cheer you on your defeats. And I'm not saying baby you. I'm saying get around you and saying get your ass going. You got this. That's what I'm talking about. So you got to get your network under control. Now, when I moved to Houston from Seattle, I knew nobody. I just threw a dart on a board and it ended up at Houston, Texas. And I said, I don't know anybody there. Anybody know people in Houston? I knew a couple people. Said, yeah, I do, but I didn't know them. So I drove all the way there. It was like 2,400 miles. I show up in Texas and I hated it for about the first month. And then I fell in love with it. But the thing is Jim Rohn, I said, what do? I don't know anybody. He said, start running 3 to 4 to 5 miles a day and put me in your ear. Meaning his books and tapes, his audios, the things that he has recorded over the years. He said, let me be your center of influence. And before you know it, I focused on my business, my personal development, and people started to meet me, and I started to build the center of influence of people just like me. I didn't have the leeches and the people's time suckers and the entourages and the people eating off me. I've had that. People, you go out to dinner and no one pulls out their wallet but me. He's got money. You don't want those people. You want people fighting for the bill. Like when I go out, all my friends are like, no, I got it. And I'm saying, sit down. No, your card's going to decline. We're all joking with each other, right? Because we have respect for each other. We're not running to the bathrooms to hope to God that Jerry over there gets the tab. If that's how you are, you're not ready to go to the next level. You're not ready to go out and eat. That's for goddamn sure. It's okay. I wasn't ready to do that stuff either. I tell you this right now, this sounds really stupid, but I can still remember 1998. I went to a big meeting in Atlanta. I couldn't afford to eat, so I was drinking protein shakes because I put all my money into advertising. I mean, I was literally like, people go, well, you're rich because you're making $60,000 a month. Well, yeah, I was spending $62,000 in advertising. So I was eating like the one Taco Bell taco for like 39 cents, and then I'd have 2 shakes a day. protein shakes because everything was going into advertising and I was freaking out if it didn't work. And my mentor called me and says, hey, I'm going to buy you a meal, get this, at Chili's for $9. I'm still thankful today, 20, 30 years later, whatever the deal is, 20, almost 20 years later, I'm still thankful for that meal at Chili's. You believe that? I can afford to spend $500 to $10,000 on a steak dinner tonight. But I'm thankful because that's what happens in your life when people do have an olive branch around you. You become thankful too. The next part is helping people get what they want is what gave me what I wanted. And Jim Rohn taught me that. He says, if you help enough other people get what they want, you will get what you want. Now, there's a fine line behind this. There's two different types of people. There's people that need your time and people that deserve your time. And the way I was raised is I gave all my time to people that needed it. Oh, woe is me, poor me. I'm not willing to work, but I want to suck all your time. I want to ask all these questions, but I don't want to work. Those people need your time. They don't deserve your time. Do you get me? You got to learn this, guys. This is tough love. The people that deserve your time are the ones that are pulling it out, do the work, and are failing. They need you. They deserve your time. They need you to go steer them in that little 10% difference. And then over time, what happens is you help them correct themselves, and all of a sudden, boom, they go off. Well, Jim Rohn says it's the little things that make the biggest difference. I was on a phone call yesterday. I said, I don't need anything from you right now. I don't need anything. Well, can we pay you? What can we do? I mean, this is a lot of information you're giving us. And most people, the information I gave him, to be honest with you guys, is about $100,000. I said, listen, this is my witness. This was the call yesterday. I said, listen, here's what will happen. If I serve you and get you what you need, I guarantee you're going to business back to me. And they're like, wow, really? You don't want us to pay you anything up front? I'm like, no, because you deserve my time. I know you're going to go do something with what I'm going to teach you. You're not one of these time suckers or tire kickers that's not going to do it. And because I know your network, and if I serve you properly, your network's going to find out about me because of what's happened to you. I don't need any money right now. See, that's helping other people get what they want. I know I can get that guy to 10,000, to 100,000, to $500,000, to $1 million a month in his business. I'm doing it. So if I help that person get there and say, do this, this, and this, me back, remember, inspect, expect, call this and tell them AP sent you. Here's what you want, bangity bang bang. I know it's going to work. Okay, so these are the 10 things that I learned in my 20s. Let me go back and recap. Mastering a skill called digital closing. Number 2, build a strong team around me. Number 3, learn not to be influenced by material items. Man, that was a big one. Next was prioritize daily personal development with actionable goals and deadlines. Boy, that's so important. Leverage the power of technology to create systems. Learn profits are better than wages, meaning leveraged income is more powerful than linear income. We talked about that. That was a huge one, guys. All these are huge. Your network is your net worth. Reinvented myself as a technology and as business changed. I continue to reinvent myself with now social media, and then it's going to be something else. Helping people get what they want ultimately gave me what I wanted, and you become who you hang around, okay? That last one, you become who you hang around. If I can give you any gift, my friends, a lot of times you're doing the correctly, but then when you go home at night and the girlfriend, boyfriend is influencing down a different road, the mom or dad's calling you and telling you this, X, Y, and Z. The people you're going to have a dinner with are telling you Y and double P and all this nonsense, because they're staying in a situation where you currently are. And they don't want you to grow. They don't want you to get better. They're scared of you moving on because they don't want to do the work to get better. You have to protect your mind, and you got to be aware of it. Get your head out of your ass. You got to be aware of it, because most people don't realize the power of law of association. You do become the 5 people you hang around.